boy. You stay there, see? That's my obedient cat. Sit, stay, hey. Sit.
I like the overall message of the sutta. I did not like the way that it talks about antis.
Oh, you didn't like
I
it?
agree.
That's interesting. Oh. So, from what point of view or from what position did you not like the anti-comment?
It talks about, let me give the exact quote here.
Yep.
A foolish, incompetent anti with an...
Yeah, which is probably not a compliment.
It seems that way, and I don't necessarily know if it's an accurate translation or if it's an accurate reflection of the original text as orally transmitted by the Buddha. So.
Good point.
Okay.
I was also taken aback by the idea of only when the Buddha said only myself or somebody like myself can pass judgment. And that sounded to me like a bad translation. So I looked up the Pali, and what I got was much closer to is somebody capable of knowing or grasping the situation rather than passing judgment in the sense of the English or the sense of the Christian. You know what I mean? So I think, okay, hello.
Okay.
So I thought that was rather interesting too. So in that case, I found the translation wanting, not the Pali, but the old Dante is more Sugato. But I can tell you things like sensitivity and awareness and consciousness of things like what you're bringing up. He's at the top of the list. In other words, he's very, very sensitive about these issues. So we'll do some investigating.
Can you hear me, Michael?
Oh yes, Bhante.
Okay, please mute the everyone. I'm gonna start.
Oh, okay. Okay, I've done it.
Okay, good morning everyone and welcome to our meditation and Dhamma discussion session. Now we are meditating for years. Every week, once a week, every Sunday, 10 a.m. in the morning. And we are practicing different meditation methods taught by the Buddha to develop our concentration and wisdom. Today we were a little late to start meditation because I think some technology problems and something came up. Okay, we are going to meditate today on Vipassana, and we're going to contemplate on dukkha. We are going to contemplate on dukkha, unsatisfactoriness. We have practiced meditation, contemplation on impermanent, anicca. Contemplation on impermanent means aniccanupassi, see impermanent. Try to understand and realize impermanent as it is. Dukkhanupassi means practice to realize, comprehend, understand suffering, unsatisfactoriness as it is. There are different variations to practice suffering, dukkha. We just begin to realize what is suffering. Okay, and we can later develop many ways of practicing understand suffering. You know the uh, Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truth is the first one is dukkha. Dukkha means suffering, unsatisfactoriness, and we are going to meditate on Four Noble Truths. That's the one way, and there another way, several ways. In the dukkha, Buddha, what's the dukkha? What's the? It is the suffering of birth. Birth is suffering. We are experiencing this whole mass of suffering because of the birth. Then we have to realize how birth become a cause of suffering, a reason for the suffering, unsatisfactoriness. Okay? A step to understand according to the truth of suffering, dukkha, satya, truth of suffering. Okay, you may gently close your eyes and take deep breath and slowly let go and be relaxed. Okay, take deep in breath couple of times and let go slowly and relax. Now we are going to practice a vipassana meditation. And we are going to contemplate on suffering, dukkha. And we're going to understand what is the dukkha and why it is dukkha. And you may try to figure out yourself the birth. Birth is suffering. How birth becomes a cause of suffering. Because after birth we experience these all terrible sufferings, dukkha, because of the birth. And you meditate on it to realize yourself. by comparing yourself and your experiences and compare with others, and those all are also suffering because of their birth. They face too many suffering, unsatisfactoriness because of the birth. Birth is the cause of suffering. Birth is itself suffering. It's the aging is suffering, become decay. You may meditate and contemplate to realize suffering of the aging or decay. Decay in these sense bases. Now you're going to realize clearly, completely is, and you compare yourself and you compare with others. How aging becomes a cause of suffering, or decaying, how become a suffering. Now we meditate on illness. Illness is suffering. Illness of the sense-based, and illness of this physical body. Many types of illness we are faced into from the birth until to death. This whole mass of illness is the cause of suffering. You try to figure out yourself. And you compare your experience and compare with others' experience. And then death, suffering, dukkha, and I will die, and we have to face to death. That death could be a peaceful or painful, no matter whatever it is. We have to lift over and give up what is belong to us and what we think it is belong to me, or whatever I cared with so much attachment with this body, and I have to give up. And I have to move and I have to keep behind my family, my think, what I think It is mine, but I have to keep them all behind and have to leave myself without anything. The death is suffering. And death of ears, eyes and ears, nose, tongue, and some parts of the body is suffering. Then separation of the loved ones is suffering. Separation from the loved ones, no matter we love each other so much and attach so much, but one day we have to separate. Definitely we will. That separation from the loved one is suffering. It could be happen immediately or accidentally or gradually, whatever it is, that separation from the loved ones is suffering. And we feel that suffering, we experience that pain, that unsatisfactoriness. It's burning our hearts, it's killing our brain. That's why people kill themselves. They can't accept that suffering of separation from the loved ones. That's the reality and true nature. We all have to face to this kind of suffering in our life. then we accept it as it is. Yes, that is right, it is true. We have to separate one day, no matter we want or not, we like or not, but it's the reality. Because it is everything is impermanent. In this impermanent world, there are nothing, anything permanent. Just accept it is suffering. And another one is the accompany with unloved ones. Get accompanied with unloved one is also suffering. We have to live together, but we don't want, we don't like, we don't feel comfortable, or we don't feel happy or peace. But we have to live and associate a company with unloved ones. That is suffering too. Another thing, not happen what we want is suffering. And happen which we do not want is suffering. It's not happen what we want. And also there are some kind of suffering, physical suffering, physical pain, and mental pain, mental suffering, sorrow, and we experience so many times in our lives, very often to this mental and physical suffering, pain and sorrow. And we are crying sometimes, lamentation. We lament sometimes in our lives, in our life when something happened,
by the use of the word,
painful. And also we face distress, depression, anxiety, and despair. And displeasure. These all are suffering. This whole form is suffering. In brief, this physical body form is suffering, and all those other forms are suffering. Feelings are suffering. Perception is suffering. Volitional formations are suffering. Consciousness is suffering. In this very life, we experience these types of suffering of the five aggregates. Most dangerous and serious suffering is the clinging to form, clinging to feeling, clinging to perceptions and volitional formation and to consciousness. Grasping these five aggregates is the very, very serious suffering that make us continue in this old mass of suffering again and again. This birth happened again and again because of clinging to form, clinging to feeling, clinging to perception, clinging to volitional formations, and clinging to consciousness. And this age in decaying, illness, death, separation from loved ones, and company with unloved ones, and suffering of what not happen what we want and happen what we do not want, and sorrowing, pain, lamentation, and despair and displeasure, stress, and this all massive suffering happen because we are when we cling into these five aggregates, is keep continue arising this massive suffering again and again in every lives. This form is suffering, is nothing to cling into it, nothing to attach to this impermanent form. And painful, suffering form is nothing to cling into this feeling, impermanent feelings. It's nothing to clinging to this perception, volitional formations, or consciousness. This all impermanent suffering and non-self. Okay, you may take a break for 2 minutes, and we're going to learn the Dhamma, and we're going to discuss the sutta called uh, Migasala. Okay. You ready to learn the sutta, Michael?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Hmm. This is the very interesting sutta. Hmm. It's very interesting, this sutta, right? Okay. Hmm. This sutta gives us some kind of advice, actually, very special advice. Don't judge the people. We can't judge people. Judgmental is not good thing because we don't have capacity to judge people because we are not perfect. Buddha said in this sutta again and again, don't judge people. You're not supposed to judge people. Judgmental is not your thing. If someone have to judge, this Buddha is the person can judge others. If not, someone like Buddha is the person can judge others. Then we are not Buddha, then we cannot judge other people. Okay, that's the important advice Buddha given in this sutta. But the most important thing is not that; it is about the different destination of the individuals.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why Buddha judging this poor lady? If he's saying not judge anybody, why he's judging this poor lady who decided to judge? He's pretty
The
rude about it.
Buddha didn't judge. Buddha did very, very good judgment. Yeah, we're going to learn it, okay? But in this translation is terrible. This translation is not here what Buddha said. Okay, we're going to learn it. Okay, once the Buddha was living in the Jetavana monastery in Savatthi, and then Ananda went to collect alms. And Ananda went to alms round, house to house. Finally, I think he entered and approached to the laywoman's house called Migasala. And Ananda went to that house, and there was the seat already prepared. And Ananda sat down, and then Migasala came and respect to the Ananda, bowed him, and sat to one side. And then they had a little conversation, exchanging greetings, and maybe then Migasala asked Ananda, Venerable Ananda, I have a question. I'm a little curious about what Buddha said. The destination of my father and my uncle or my grandfather. The Migasala's father dead. He born in the Tusita realm, joyful gods. He reborn in the joyful god. Uh, Migasala's father called Purana. His name is Purana. Purana is the good person. He was a celibate person. He lived as a celibacy, with celibacy. He didn't have any sexual intercourse with women, and he was a celibate person and very virtuous, and he protect Sila, very moral person, and he died. And then Buddha said he was born in the Tusita realm, joyful God's realm. Here, some translation says his uncle, the Migasala's uncle, called Isidatta, and some translation says his grandfather. In Pali, it's called Pitamaha, is the grandfather. Some translation Pali terms here is called Petta, is the brother of the father, and whoever it is, uncle or grandfather, is Siddhartha, and he also died. He also born in the Tusita realm. But the problem, Isidatta is not the virtuous person. Isidatta wasn't a person is with morality. He had the sexual intercourse with his wife, and he experiences the sense pleasures, and he wasn't a virtuous one according to the Migasala's explanation. But the problem is the Purana, her father, he is the virtuous person, but her uncle wasn't a virtuous person, but both are born in the same place, Tushita realm. Both are born in the same place. The Migasala is asking Ananda, why is this happened? Buddha claimed both are born in the same realm, Tushita realm. How could it happen? My father is a virtuous person, but uncle is not. Okay, I understand, right? The question. Then Ananda said, dear sister, what Buddha said, it's supposed to be what Buddha said. What he said, it is. Then Ananda didn't give any explanation, or Ananda didn't tell anything to Migasala. And he just said what Buddha said, it could be, it is. And Ananda returned to the temple in the evening, and Ananda went to see Buddha and just said to the Buddha what happened in the morning. Bante, I went to Migasala's house to get some food. Then Migasala asked me a question. Her father died and born in the Tushita realm, and her uncle died, he also born in the Tushita realm. But the problem is, Purana father is a virtuous one, but the Isidatta uncle is not the virtuous one. How could it be? How could it can happen? One has sila, one doesn't have sila. Why both are born in the same uh, Tusita realm. The another thing is not just they're born in the Tusita realm, both are already entered to the path of the enlightenment. Sakadagami. Both are Sakadagami. Once returner. Both are Sakadagami. Already attained to the path of the enlightenment. But the one is virtuous, one is not virtuous one. Then Buddha said here, um, okay, Buddha said here, Migasala, Ananda. Migasala is the Pali here says Bala, a little one. Bala means little one is the not wise one. It could be foolish. But if you think that foolish is the word of the harassment, but here is the Bala means the not a wit person, a witful person. Okay, a little with wisdom. And then the Abhyata, not learned much, not learned much. Ammaka Panya in Pali here, there I have a different translation of these words. Okay. And in this translation called auntie and the knowledge of the auntie, incompetent auntie and the knowledge of the auntie. But this translation called Ammaka, some translation called Ambaka and Ambaka Panya. Ambaka also means the little. Also Ambaka means the wife, right? And Ammaka means mother and Ammaka doesn't mean woman. Ammaka means the mother, and then Ambaka means the wife. Here, I think Buddha means this Ambaka is the little, and some translation called Andhaka, Andhaka Panya. Andhaka means blind. Okay, Andhaka Panya means the wisdom or blind wisdom. Then Buddha means here that Migasala is the not wise enough, not good knowledge enough to uh, judge how her father, born in the Tusita realm, with fruition of one's return, the fruit of one's return, and her uncle, born in the Tusita realm with fruit of one return. She can understand it because Buddha mentioned here, she doesn't have Purisa Puggala Paro Pariye Jnana. Jnana means knowledge. Knowledge of the decide and understand the differentiation of the individuals and differentiation of their knowledge, differentiation of their morality, differentiation of their concentration, differentiation of their wisdom, and differentiation of their karma, and differentiation of their qualities. Everybody not able to decide and to understand these things of the individuals, then we not able to judge. We cannot judge people because we do not know what's going on in them and how they are exactly. And these all people have good and bad. good qualities and bad qualities, and different status, different types of knowledge, understanding, realizations, and skills. Then the Migasala here is the not good enough to decide that. Then Buddha used this incident, this story to explain and teach you more about this. And Buddha said to Ananda, there are 10 types of people in the world. Okay, one person. Buddha says there's a one person. Mm, Dussilo hoti. Not a
Can I
word.
ask another question until we get out? Why is this woman who is a daughter of this one amazing being and the granddaughter of another amazing being unable to understand? I mean, nothing, to see nothing. How she end up in this great family of non-returners? It's kind of weird for me. But how she even became a daughter of those and granddaughter? If she's so stupid and cannot understand and cannot see anything.
Yeah, that's right. I think she born after before they are attained to this enlightenment. Maybe um, the we not get rid of all our uh, eh, the experiencing and the enjoying with the sense pleasures until to attain to arahantship. And the Visakha is the lady. She already attained to Sotapanna, and she had many daughters and sons and granddaughters and grandsons. They lived as lay people, but they already entered to the some types stage of the enlightenment, not completely attained to final stage, and they living together, having sexual intercourses. It doesn't matter. It doesn't say they not get rid of that kind of desire until to attain to enlightenment, arahantship. When they attain to arahantship and they get completely, perfectly all the type of defilements and they get free from it. Until that, and they live in together and they enjoy the sense pleasure, but not the other ordinary people. And they do it with their knowledge. It's different. We can't judge it, but that is how it is. Okay, this Migasala is the daughter of them, but maybe she born before they attain to this stage of enlightenment, or maybe after. It could be happen. It is exactly okay because they're not arahants. And then the she was curious because father was virtuous, but the uncle doesn't virtuous. But they all Sakadagami and went to the same place. And then that's why Buddha explained there are 10 types of individuals in the world. Okay, let's see what's the first one. Who's the first one? First one is the Dussilo, not virtuous one, not morality, not moral person, and he is unethical person. And he also doesn't have the um, release of the mind and release of the wisdom. Okay, you have to learn this thing very carefully. Okay, learn carefully, listen carefully. The first one called Cheto Vimutti. Cheto, Cheto Vimutti. Cheto Vimutti means liberation by mind. Cheto Vimutti means the arahantship. Okay, arahantship. Attain to arahantship, enlightenment, attain to enlightenment by developing mind, by developing samadhi. He attained to jhana and attained to sotapanna, sakadagami, anagami, arahant. Liberation by mind, okay, by developing samadhi, developing mind. The other one called panya vimutti. Learn these things and write down yourself, okay? You have to. Panya vimutti means liberation by wisdom. Not samadhi, not develop concentration, not develop jhana, and he just develop his wisdom, understanding, realization about realizing suffering and cause of suffering and cessation of suffering. And he attained to Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, and Arahant. That is called the liberation by wisdom. Some unethical person, unvirtuous people in the world, they do not know about these types of enlightenments, these types of enlightenment. Cheto Vimutti, Panya Vimutti. Liberation by mind and liberation by wisdom. And those unvirtuous people also does not know where these unvirtuousness going to end, where these unethical things going to end. Can you guess where it is going to end? Where this unvirtuous going to end? Anyone? It is going to end in the enlightenment, right? Right? You know, right? Say yes. Yes, this enlightenment is the final attainment. This enlightenment is the final attainment. In that enlightenment, all unvirtuous things, bad qualities, unwholesome things, qualities going to end. Some people not virtuous, but they also does not know this unvirtuous, where this unvirtuous things going to end. It does mean they do not know enlightenment, not realizing, even does not know. And here Buddha explaining again, samanena pyakatang hoti. They never heard about it. They never heard about it. There is a state called enlightenment. In that there, no any virtuous thing, unwholesome things, and that is the liberation and freedom that can be achieved by mind or wisdom. They never heard that. And also, bhav satchena pyakatang hoti. Bhav satcha means then learn many about it and practice it. Here, commentary says, here bhav satcha means the virya, effort. They never put their effort to understand or practice it. And then Buddha here says, and they never heard about that, and they never have learned much about it, practice about it, and also ditthyapi appati viddham, and their view is not correct. View is not right. They have in the wrong views. Kaya sabeda paramarana hanaya pareti, after death, and they will go down. They decline. Before they going down, now going up, going high, not growing, and they headed for a lower plane, lower realm. They will go to or born in the lower realm, not in the higher realms, happy realms. They're not going to happy destination. This is the first one. Okay. When we understand this first one clearly, and all others are very similar, easy to understand. First person in the world is the Dusila, not moral person or virtuous person. Also, he doesn't know about enlightenment. Two types of enlightenment: liberation by mind and liberation by wisdom. Never heard about it, never learned about it, never practiced about it. And also, view is wrong, not right views. Also, another one, Samaikampi Vimutting na labhati. Time to times, some practitioners achieve kind of samadhi, a peace in the mind. When you meditate, do you have ever feel that kind of peace or relaxation or happiness? It's quiet, so comfortable feelings. When you're listening to some Dhamma, and we feel that, wow, it is cool, that's very peaceful, that's make me so comfortable. Yeah, that's right. And we very quiet moment, we feel kind of peace, uh, concentration, samadhi, clearness, understanding quickly appear, and suddenly it will disappear after that. But it's happened, then we still know there are something else, real happiness, real peace, real relaxation, real liberation is it is in here, in this way. And some people feel it sometimes. Some people keep going to see a pilgrimage, and they see Buddha statue, and they feel some more comfortable and peaceful, right? If you go into some kind of churches or mosque or wherever, in religious places, and we feel some kind of peace. But here is very special. It is come through the understanding that enlightenment, have heard, hearing, listening, having heard about it, and having practiced it, having learned it, and they receive, sometimes they achieve, sometimes some kind of samadhi, uh, sanctuary of the mind. Okay, but some people in the world, they don't have this, and after death they go into lower realm. That's the first one. Okay, second one is the same one, not virtuous, but he not virtuous, but he have heard about that enlightenment. What kind of enlightenment? Cheto vimutti, released by mind. Panya vimutti, released by wisdom. And that unvirtuous person know this unvirtuous things going to end in that enlightenment. He knows that. He has knowledge of. He had heard about it, and he had practiced sometimes about to understand it. Then his view is right. He know birth is suffering, aging, decay is suffering, illness is suffering, death is suffering. Associating or a company with unloved one is suffering. Separation from the loved one is suffering. And he understand, and he know, he has a view, pain, sorrow, and lamentation. despair, displeasure, this all are suffering. This form, feeling, perception, volition of formation, consciousness are suffering and clinging to them, even serious suffering. Then he has this kind of knowledge and view. But he is not a virtuous one. He enjoy his lay life, and he having some sexual intercourse with women. Sometimes maybe he's stealing, not very virtuous. He could kill some kind of animals sometimes. But some people, they all do these all bad things, and even doesn't know about this enlightenment or liberation or freedom. And this unvirtuousness, we are going to end. They never know, never heard. But this person is unvirtuous, but he know these unvirtuous things will going to end in the enlightenment, and he know that types of enlightenment. He has heard about it. Then he has practiced to understand it, and he learned that kind of teachings. He hearing, he heard, he listening, he reading. Here Buddha means the savanena pi akatang. He never heard. In the Buddha's time, mostly people learned by hearing, because those days there wasn't so many books. They wrote on the kind of leaves, palm leaves, and stones. But nowadays, we have so many books, papers. Even you can read these kind of things. You can learn this kind of thing through your mobile, uh, through your laptop, your iPad, your computer. Even this old mass of Tripitaka, you can put into a pen driver, the, like this finger size pen driver. You can put all mass of books. You know, Nowadays it's easy to learn. And then this unvirtuous person has learned and practiced. Now you are joined with Zoom meeting with me to practice, to meditation and learn this Dhamma, right? Then you practice in this Dhamma and you learn in this Dhamma. It doesn't matter you virtuous or unvirtuous, you ethical or non-ethical, but you know this type of teaching, you have this type of wisdom and knowledge, understanding about this, what is enlightenment, how it is, and how we uh, achieve it. And then you also have kind of uh, samadhi, sanctuary, peace, relaxation, quietness, samadhi having a rise in the mind by hearing these things and learning these things. And this is the second person. Okay, this second person is never going to down, and he going up. It means his destination is exactly in the happy. He going to happy realm. He going to happy realm. He is not a virtuous person, but he going to happy realm. Why it is that? Because he know the enlightenment and what it is, and where these unvirtuous things going to end, and he has heard it, has learned it, has practiced it, and his view is right and correct and clear, and he has time to time achieved some kind of uh, quietness, peace, samadhi in his mind, having learned these things. And then here, his destination is definitely will good, because of his wisdom and uh, understanding. That's the second person. And the third person Okay. Then Buddha says here, therefore Anand, don't judge people. The judgmental is not good, uh, because you do not know exactly what's going on in them, how they are going through. It means what are their qualities, what are their knowledge, wisdom, understanding, concentration. The, you cannot understand that kind of thing. Therefore, don't judge people. Judgment is not good. If someone, if someone able to judge these people, it could be the Buddha. If not, someone like Buddha. And Buddha said here, it could be me or like someone like me. Then don't judge people. We can see some people living with us, around us, and we accompany with them. They are living with together as our friends, as our neighbors, relatives, as our colleagues, co-workers. When we see them and we judge quickly, we like to judge people. Oh, he's bad. He's bad. We say that he's crazy. He's not good. And we say he's good. He's good. She's good. And we quickly judge people. Mm, but we especially judge people in bad ways, not good, because we do not know what's going on them, how they are going through. You know, some has a physical problem, some has mental problems. Uh, some has their own disability, and some could be some reasons of the family reasons. Um, some could be uh, some reasons could be come from the birth. Uh, when they come to mother's womb, when they are living in the mother's womb, could be happen something, and something could be wrong. Maybe something come from their previous lives. Maybe some reasons because their association. Uh, something happened because in the social reasons, social problems, um, family problems, economic problems. It could be many reasons. People behave indifferently, behave weirdly. Um, maybe they could be in anxiety, they could be in stress or depression, um, or broken heart, or so many reasons. Then we're not supposed to judge people, but we have to understand these things as it is. Then we avoid judging, and we forgive everyone without no reason, and we do metta and karuna. Okay, Buddha here explain again. um, there's a virtuous one. Okay, he's a virtuous, third one, very virtuous, but he doesn't know about enlightenment. He doesn't know about this virtuous thing also going to end. This ethical or virtuous thing also will end in the enlightenment. After enlightenment, no unvirtuous things or even not virtuous things. How could you understand that? Hello? Do you think that virtuous thing going to will end in the enlightenment like unvirtuous things? Yes. As ordinary people, we do wholesome and unwholesome activities. then we will get the result of the our activities, good karma and bad karma. According to our good and bad karma, we will get the result, vipaka, result. But the enlightened one doesn't do bad karma, even they doesn't do good karma. What is get result? Whatever karma they do, they do not get results. This virtuous things going to give good result. Unvirtuous things going to give bad results. Then the arahant do not doesn't do arahant one doesn't do virtuous things or unvirtuous things. If he has the result of the karma, and then he have to continue birth again and again. If you're going to continue birth again and again, then he feel this, he experience suffering of the birth again, aging, suffering of aging, suffering of illness, suffering of death, and he experience all mass of suffering again and again because he do karma and he have to get result. But the enlightened one never do good or bad karma. They do good
No
things,
karma.
they do good things but not result. Okay, and here some people are virtuous in this world, sila vahoti, they are very virtuous, but they doesn't know about enlightenment, where these virtuous things going to end. They doesn't know, they never heard, they never learned, they never practiced, they don't have a view about it, and even they don't have the kind of samadhi arise by learning it. And they definitely after that, not definitely, they may will born in the lower realm, they may go to lower realm. But someone virtuous, also he know these virtuous things where will going to end, and he know these virtuous things will end in the enlightenment. The enlightenment is the could be achieved by developed mind and by developed wisdom, and he have heard it, he has learned it, practiced it, and he has the right view about it. Okay, and then he will, his destination will be good, and he going to good destination. But the other, the earlier one, we said he's the virtuous, but he doesn't know these things, and his destination not could be not good. Then Buddha said, therefore, Ananda, don't judge people. The judgment is not good. You're not supposed to judge. You're not capacity to judge people and to understand what's going on in them, because you do not have the cheto pariyajnana, understanding uh, the the qualities of the people as it is, and development of their um, five powers. Okay, I don't want to make you complicated, confused. Okay, let me see. This Buddha says again, there's okay, Ananda, there's another person, Tibbarago, very strong, um, lustful. They are very lustful. Okay, Tibbarago, strong lustful people, or maybe strongly attached, but also they doesn't know about that enlightenment. Then you have to remind, okay, what type of enlightenment. He never heard, never learned, never practiced, don't have a view about it. And that lustful person could be go to lower realm. And there's another person, he is lustful, strong attachment, but he does know, he knows about enlightenment, released by mind and released by wisdom. And he has heard about it, he has learned and practiced about it, he has a view about it. And after that, that person could be go to good destination. And Buddha also said, this is the Panita Taro. And this is the okay, how can let me see. Mm, Buddha using here very good words to say them. Um, Sundarataro. This is better than the first one. Okay, this is fine. This is the finest from the other one. Other one is lustful but doesn't know about enlightenment. This one also lustful, but he know about enlightenment. He has practice. And this is the better, this is the finest. Therefore, Ananda, don't judge people. Judgment is not good. And Buddha says again, that's someone is very irritable, hateful, okay, angry. Some people is full of anger, very hateful. And that person even doesn't know about enlightenment, never heard about it. His destination could be bad. There's this other one, he's also hate person, angry person. He get angry and he keep anger, hold anger. Very irritable person. But he know where this anger going to will end. He knows about that enlightenment. He has heard and practiced about it. His destination could be a good. And Buddha says again, therefore, Anand, don't judge people. You don't know what's going on in them, and judgment is not good. But this anger person who knows about enlightenment, he is better and finest than other. And Buddha says again, okay, Anand, there's another person called Uddato Hoti. Uddato means here has translated as restless, and also it is mean a pride person, very pride person. Also restless, no calmness, no stillness, and also very pride, conceitful person. And then he even doesn't know about enlightenment, never heard, never learned. And the other one, also a pride person, a restless person, no calmness, no peace, no quiet, and but he knows where this pride or restlessness going to end. And he has heard that enlightenment, has learned and practiced. And he is better and finest than the other one. And his destination is good. Therefore, Ananda, don't judge people. Judgment is not good, because if someone in the world could judge someone, it could be the Buddha or someone like Buddha. Therefore, Ananda, don't judge people. And that's why Purana, the father of the Migasala, and Buddha finally says, the father of the Migasala is virtuous, but not wise. But the Siddhartha uncle, not virtuous, but he's wiser. He's wiser. And they are different, but as their destination, they were same and equal. And the morality is the first step of the enlightenment. It's called sila. Second step is samadhi, concentration. Third step is the panya, wisdom. Purana was the virtuous, Isiddhartha was wise. And their destination was equal, but they are different. Purana didn't enjoy the sensual pleasure, but the Isiddhartha, he enjoyed sensual pleasure. Maybe he didn't attach. to it because he's wise, right? Um, then they both has gone to same destination because of their different mentality, different realization, different quality, different practice, different knowledge. Then Buddha is the person to realize it and to explain it. And these are the 10 types of people in the world, and this is the sutta for today. What do you think?
Oh, so many questions, Bante. So many questions. Uh-oh.
Okay.
I'm looking. This word ignorance, right? Wait. Hold on just a second. Yeah. I'm looking at the Pali for judgment and past judgment. The word judgment in English has a lot of subtlety, which I think is not present in the Pali. So I want to ask you about, first of all, Ganhati. And we have Pamana.
Right.
Pamama. So here we put them together, and we have Pamanam Ganheyam.
Yeah.
And Ganhati has more the meaning of to understand, to grasp, to perceive, to hold, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of Pamana is to measure.
Yes.
It's a I think that's the important point.
Right.
Pamana is a noun, and it means a measure or an amount of something. So therefore, we could say the Buddha has a grasp on, the way we say in English, for example, I have a grasp of mathematics. That means I understand mathematics, right? In that sense, the Buddha seems to be saying, I have an understanding of the wisdom of this person. But that's very different from the English word judgment. Judgment, we say in English, I'm passing judgment. Like, for example, a judge in a court passes judgment, guilty or not guilty, or I should say the jury passes judgment.
Right.
Guilty or not. That's not what the Buddha is doing here. The Buddha is saying, I completely understand the measure of your wisdom.
Right.
And that's different from making a judgment about it. The Buddha, for example, might say, you actually don't have any wisdom. You actually are ignorant. But that's not the Buddha passing judgment. That's the Buddha making an objective statement of the situation that applies. That's my understanding.
Right.
So the word judgment is a very bad translation, I think. That's my opinion.
Right. Right. You're right.
Based
Here,
on the Pali.
yeah, here a Pali word called pamanika. Pamanika means the noun of the plural. It's the people who keep measuring. Pamanika.
Yeah.
And the verb is paminanti. Paminanti means they are measuring. Measuring means they are deciding people, they're good or bad, they're going to good destination or bad destination, they have good quality or bad quality. People is called paminanti means they're measuring or maybe kind of judging. And
Yeah.
then Buddha says it is not supposed to do that because this is the reason. These are the reason.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't look at the Pali for the part that Anna was bringing up but I do think, and that Craig was mentioning, because I think that's important too. In society, when somebody says, "Oh, she's just a stupid old woman," we turn around and say, "Who are you to say she's a stupid old woman?" And there's something to see there, and I don't want to bring it up too much, but I think that deserves, the Pali there deserves to be looked at really carefully too. And, yeah.
Bante, do we have any other translation other than that? This only the translation?
No. There's another translation of the
So we need to put it out so we can read that. I tried to Google and I couldn't find any.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Bhikkhu Bodhi.
Bhikkhu Bodhi's translation is the pretty much good one.
Do you have Bhikkhu Bodhi's? What are we looking at here? Let me see again.
But in this website, I couldn't see it. Maybe Bhante Bhikkhu Bodhi has his book about the Anguttara Nikaya, translation of the Anguttara Nikaya.
The Anguttara Nikaya is the book of Numbers.
Right.
Courses, and this is in the chapter of tens. So if you have that book, or if you look up Bhikkhu Bodhi, although I don't think his stuff is online by itself, I think it's, and I see that Sujanto's site on Sutta Central doesn't have his translation.
But Bhante Bhikkhu Bodhi's translation could appear some suttas, but not every suttas, because Bhante already has translated and the book's already here. And if you could buy that, But
so I also see we're looking first of all at we're looking at Sila very clearly, and we're looking at Panya very clearly, and we're making a statement that Panya supersedes wisdom. Wisdom supersedes ethics. That you can do some bad things, but if you have wisdom, you can still you're still above the person who's does not have wisdom. But there seems to be a third thing, and that's what I want to ask about. We say we say in each case, somebody who really has the wisdom, that is to say, inside of them, deep, they have the Dhamma. They have the Dhamma, and so because they have the Dhamma, that's a very positive thing that leads to and then after that, according to this translation, we have the idea of theoretical knowledge. Theoretical knowledge in this translation. And that's very different. That's knowing about the Dhamma or having a theoretical idea. And those two things seem quite different to me. So I wonder if we're supposed to observe that and make anything out of it.
Right.
I don't know if I'm making myself.
No, that's right. That's right. This translation is different. A little bit difficult to understand. This here, the Tiapi Patividham. It simply means the having right view. I also want to say something. You know, the Angulimala, he's the murderer, killer, serious killer.
That's right.
Serial killer. He's a serial killer. Serial killer. He killed 999 people. And finally, he went to kill his own mother. Then Buddha appeared rightly. And he met Buddha and he tried to kill Buddha. And Buddha gave him a little teaching and he had away. That's wisdom. That's wisdom, you know. That's his all unvirtuous things was disappear after attainment of his enlightenment. Our wisdom is the most important thing, most powerful thing. The simply is, according to I can say, there are so many religions in the world, so many people believe in many things. They are very virtuous people, so many virtuous people in other religions. They are very ethical. They are very kind and compassionate ones. Even give us generous support. But the most harmful thing according to these teachings, they not know end of that virtuous things, end of that unvirtuous things, end of that generosity, end of that greedy or whatever, end of this everything, the enlightenment, the path to enlightenment. That's the most lost of that other religious people. The, here the doesn't matter virtuous or unvirtuous or hateful or non-hateful, greedy or not greedy, lustful or not lustful, pride or not. The most important thing is the wisdom, understanding, uh, knowledge about this. And it's take us, and Buddha has given a sutta, another sutta called Ganga, I think. In that sutta, Buddha says, when something fall into river, those all things fall into river, take along to the ocean, carried that river, that stream of the rivers, take those all things to along to the ocean, because that river inclined to ocean, bend to the ocean, going to ocean. Likewise, who has the view, right view, that right view, bend to enlightenment, inclined to enlightenment, going to enlightenment, and take, who has that view, take to the enlightenment. That's the, it does, that virtuous doesn't take it. That concentration even doesn't take to that. But a view is the wisdom. Take, yes, that's the most powerful thing to enlightenment.
Craig, Craig, are you referring to Bhikkhu Bodhi's translation in your note? You're referring
that translation is not from Bhikkhu Bodhi. That translation is from Pisano Bhikkhu, Thanissaro Bhikkhu.
Oh, Thanissaro Bhikkhu, very good. Okay, thank you so much.
It's in the Dhamma.
That's easy to find.
Inside.
Okay. Oh, thank you for that. That's great. Yeah, insight.
Inside, the Bhante Thanissaro has the translation of it. Also, there's another translation of the Piyadasi. Remember Piyadasi's translation and Bhante Thanissaro's translation in Insight.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that, but I'm glad you did. That's really nice information.
It's also have many suggestions to understand similar to this sutta, and in each sutta gives some notes to study many things. It's better to read this Insight Buddhist things. What's that?
Yeah, insight to whatever. I know the one.
Michael send the links to this. Okay, then no more questions. Then make the end of the session. Okay.
Question.
Yeah.
Can you give an example of what an irritable person is and what what's the other one? Restless.
Irritable person is I think get angry very quickly, very often, and also here Pali term is the kodano. Koda means get angry quickly. And get angry quickly, and irritable person, and he get irritate angry person. Angry person actually here means angry person. Literally means angry person. And he get quickly become angry.
Oh,
Right?
and restless.
Restless. Restless. Also, restless means the confused. He is in delusion, kind of delusion and confusion. No perfect, clear decisions about knowledge about things. It's called uddhata. Also, it means pride. His pride. Some people think I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the better. I'm the good one. And I'm the beautiful one, pretty one. I'm the healthy one, wise one. Wealthy one, educated one, and that's kind of pride is also called uddhata, and also restlessness of the mind, no concentration, no samadhi, no stillness. It's like a dust when something wind make dust come or take up in the tornadoes. We can see the dust. Everything not clear because spreading dust all over and like a smoke, not clear scene we can get. The mind is something like that. Restless means the everything is confused. So many confusion, they are not clear understanding or and another that's the one meaning. Another meaning is the pride. Similar to conceit. Right, Elvira?
Thank you, Master Sport.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to end up this session, then transfer merits to the departed ones and to the ghost and to the gods. May they all share these merits. By sharing these merits, may they will born in the good destiny. By the power of these merits of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, may you all may you all be happy, healthy, and live long, happily and peacefully. May come to you, and may we all be able to attain to the enlightenment. Akasattha ca bummattha deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu sasanang tu desanang chirang rakkantu parang sabbhitiyo vivajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu Mate bhavatvantarayo sukhi digayuko bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sabba dhammanubhavena sabba sanghanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Say sadhu.
Sadhu,
Sadhu,
sadhu.
sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Bhante.
Teruvan Saranai. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, see you next week.
Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody. Okay, I'm going to reread the sutta about 100 more times. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Bye. Go.